You're listening to a bonus episode of the Jurassic Park Podcast. Enjoy.
Where's Aunt Claire?
7 o'clock tomorrow night on the East Dock. Make sure he gets it right.
But it's alive! And everyone on the planet's going to line up to appreciate it and everything done.
People would say they could see the fleas. Oh, I could see the fleas. Mummy, can't you see the fleas?
Are these characters auto-erotic?
No.
Come on!
Hello and welcome to a bonus episode of the Jurassic Park Podcast. I am your host, Brad Jost, and today I am joined by Tom Fishenden, and we're going to take a look at a lot of the LEGO sets that have been revealed and everything that's coming via LEGO and Duplo and a few other things. So I don't know anything about this stuff really. I'm not a huge LEGO collector, especially when it comes to Jurassic. I actually don't have much in the way of anything LEGO Jurassic. Got some Star Wars stuff, but I'm just completely unknowledgeable when it comes to the LEGO stuff. So I brought on this LEGO expert here to kind of help me sift through it and figure out what's going on and take a deeper look. So, hey, Tom, how's it going?
Hey, man. Yeah, I'm doing really well. It's snowing here at the moment, so it's a little bit on the chilly side, but I am really excited to be breaking these down. Yeah,
man. Like I said, I don't know much about them, but some of them look cool. I'm not a fan of some of them, but I don't know. We're going to take a deep dive, and we just wanted to preface it by saying that not necessarily spoilers at all, but there's a few character names and different things on the LEGO sets, so if you don't want to hear character names, I guess, don't listen, but it's not really spoiler-esque,
yeah,
you know.
Nothing massive, really.
No, there's nothing really massive there, and there's a few set pieces that you've most likely already seen or already heard about, so I wouldn't worry too much. It's not like we're gonna say this LEGO set spoiled that blah 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 is dying in this movie. So nothing, nothing like that. So don't worry.
Iron dies.
Yes, it was one of the LEGO sets fell on him and he died. That was it.
Yeah, that's it.
No, none of that. So why don't we dive in? Where do you want to start, Tom?
I think we'll start with the Duplo sets.
All right.
So, I know, obviously, we already had the T-Rex Talbot revealed a while back, so we'll just touch on that briefly in a second. But the brand new one we saw here was the Gentle Giants Petting Zoo. Now, one thing I really like here is that it comes with grey. I think it's really nice that actually LEGO are taking a moment to kind of go back and bring us stuff from the first Jurassic World film, which I think is really cool. And obviously here we've got a baby Triceratops, and I want to say a baby Apatosaur. It is very stylized, as I'm sure you agree, Brad, so it's kind of hard to determine what it is, but yeah.
I'm thinking Brachiosaurus, just because of the way the neck is like straight up, but who knows, it could be a Apatosaur there.
Actually, that is a fair shout. It does have the Brachiosaur's kind of crest to it as well. So
yeah, it does. Who knows, though? Either way, it doesn't really matter. It's still super cute.
Yeah, they are adorable here. I love the way Gray's got his little arms up as well, as if he's really happy to see all the dinosaurs.
Yeah. I actually didn't even realize that was Gray at first, so you just told me that, so that's cool. I like, you can see his little, what does he call it? His satchel or something around his waist, I don't remember. But, yeah, and it's got like a little, what is that, a camera?
Yeah, it is, which is nice, because obviously he has his camera in the film as well. And I don't know if you've played the LEGO Jurassic World game, but it's quite an important part of his character in that as well, so it's cool to see it.
Yeah, this is a very small set, but I like it, and you know, I've mentioned it before, but I'm super interested in all the Duplo stuff that's coming out via Jurassic World, because I want to introduce it to my kids, so that'll be awesome for me.
Yeah, and it'll be a nice way of getting that Jurassic interest starting at a young age as well.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Which is funny because a lot of this stuff, like, I know you're much younger than me, but we didn't have any of this stuff as kids, so it's interesting to see kids having Jurassic items as well. We just had all the toys, but nothing for like real young kids. So yeah, this is nice.
I think it's nice as well across the board, not just with LEGO, but across all the different things we're seeing. We're seeing a much greater variety in terms of things that fans, children, young adults, just everyone can interact with. Like, touching on it briefly, because obviously we're focusing on LEGO, but the is it Skelentoni or Scaloni? The like excavation sets I saw at Toy Fair. That's another really nice kind of, I guess, side thing that you wouldn't necessarily expect to see with a franchise like this.
Yeah.
It's really nice to see all different kinds of merch for it coming out this time around.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the next one, obviously you've touched on this quite a bit in the news segment when it was revealed, so we don't need to talk about it that much, but it's the T-Rex Tower, and I really like Owen here. I think he is super adorable with that massive cheesy grin on his face. Yeah.
I love this one. This one actually like really stood out to me. It's got so many different pieces to it. So this one, like I said, I'm really excited to get this one and play with my kid. So I think he's going to love this one.
Yeah, for sure. I think that car is going to be popular. You're going to see that turning up all over your house. Just you wait.
Yes. Yeah, dude. That's one of the things I didn't really even like pinpoint right away. I'm looking at the tower, and there's like a ladder and some sort of like energy or electrical thing over there. I didn't really notice the truck too much, but that's really cool that it comes with a truck. Maybe a giant cell phone or something. Is that a giant cell phone in the passenger seat?
Yeah.
Got a gas can. Oh yeah. The cell phone's in the Rex's mouth or whatever it is. The GPS. I don't know what it is.
Oh yeah. Oh my god! And it even has a little map of Isla Nublar on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I just like these details. I brush over this stuff in the news, and just kind of mention it, but it's interesting. I never noticed that stuff
really
before.
Cool. I like how I don't know. I like how the T-Rex is really stylized here.
Yeah.
I think Lego always they definitely do well when it comes to interpreting things for different ages, I feel.
Yeah, this is a fun one. It looks real like a good playability here, and yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, it will be good. Right, moving on, we then also have sets for slightly older kids who perhaps can't deal with the complicated builds that we have in the mainline sets. So these come through the Lego Junior sets, which are for ages 4 to 7. And the first one we have here is the Pteranodon Escape, which is going to retail for $20, and it has 84 pieces to it. So what do you think of this one, Brad?
Ooh, let me find this one. This is on. Does this have like a little net with it, or? No, that's a chase. I'm sorry. Pteranodon Escape. There it is. Sorry. Kind of sifting through all these pictures, and there's a lot to go through.
There's a lot of them, isn't there?
So the Escape, I like this one. It's a nice little piece. I mean, it's like you said, it's not complicated. It's interesting that the helicopter has like what do you call it? Like a leash on it. I'm assuming for the Pteranodon, which that does not seem like a safe idea. Like, hey, I'm going to attach this Pteranodon to my helicopter, and it's going to go perfectly fine, and we're going to be able to fly and land and all that with no problem.
Going a little bit into the kind of Lego details of it, I suppose. One thing I do notice here is if you look at the back of the helicopter, it looks like there's a slanted plate piece on it. Now, the only real way that Lego would be able to do that would be with hinges. So it's entirely possible you're able to put both figures in the helicopter, which would be quite
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
As well as that, I feel bad because this is going to basically be a lot of me just geeking out over all the Lego stuff I know. But the 2x2 plate that you see on the side of the helicopter with the logo on, the way that will work is with the junior sets, they tend to use quite few stickers. So I know we've had, in the Gallimimus polybag from 2014, we got a printed 2x2 with the Jurassic World logo on it in white, I believe. And here this looks like it will actually be a printed piece. So that will be really useful for people who are perhaps planning on doing custom Jurassic World models to get their hands on, because it's so much nicer when you have something that's printed as opposed to having to apply a sticker to it. So I'm really hopeful that that's going to be a print. And also something else, I'm not sure if you noticed, but this is actually the same Pteranodon that came with the helicopter in the 2014 wave.
Yeah, I did notice that. It looks, identical. It's the same thing.
Yeah. I think a few people are annoyed about that, but I actually really like it. I think it's nice to get the opportunity to get your hands on something that that first wave had, because that first wave did end up selling out quite quickly, actually, and it took a lot of places a while to restock it. So I think it's always nice to give people to like an opportunity to get something that maybe they missed out on.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I'm sure the set's a bit different, so why not have just, the same Pteranodon? It really doesn't make too much sense. I know that the one I mentioned before, the Chase, is a bit different, but it does. It's not a big deal to me, at least, and I don't think any kids care, for that matter.
No, exactly, and that's the thing. You have to remember it's targeted for children, and they're just going to see it as an awesome dinosaur to play with.
Yeah, we can be as critical as we want, but like it really doesn't matter what we think. These are mostly for kids. Even the more, the more bigger sets or whatever, they're all for kids. Like. So yeah, exactly. I try not to be too critical. Maybe I don't like them per se, but it doesn't really matter. But I like this little set. It's cute. It's got like a little volcano, I guess, and it's tiny. And apparently volcanoes and helicopters are the same size. But and then this little like control center thingy with like I like how it has like a little volcano printed on it, some maybe controls below it or something, and maybe a gun holder or something on the side. I don't know.
That's what it looks like it's being used as, which is quite cool.
Yeah, and a few amber pieces. That's pretty cool. Is it amber or is it like lava? I don't know.
I think it's meant to represent lava, but say you could easily see it as amber, which is quite cool.
But it's like a ball of lava. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but
yeah. So these were actually introduced with Lego City. I think it was either last year or the year before. They did a theme that you might have seen on some shop shelves called Volcano Explorers, and there were like a bunch of different vehicles and things like that. And one of the elements they introduced within that was these boulder pieces. So they've existed for a while in different colours, but they came out in trans red with that line. And these boulder pieces actually allow you to split them in half. So you can open them, and like kids could put little bits of Lego in them that could then pop open and explode everywhere and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice to see them included because they are quite playable.
And that's why you're on this episode, because you know all that random stuff like that. So I did get a look at these, and I was wondering if they popped open like that because it looks like maybe there's a seam. So that is a nice touch. And if I'm mentioning anything about these sets that has either been previously released via Jurassic World, just know that I'm completely ignorant when it comes to all this stuff. I really don't pay much attention to the Lego stuff, but it's just not my forte. But I know it's a well-liked set for a lot of people. So yeah. But what do we got next, man?
We have got the Lego Raptor rescue truck. And this one, I like, again, as per the juniors sets, it is quite a simplified build. This one is going to retail for $24.99, and it has 85 pieces to it. And this one, you get our first look at the brand new Owen Grady minifigure for Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, I do like this one a little bit. It's small, but whatever, that's fine. One of the things I do love about it is this chicken leg on a stick. Like, why? That's one of the things I love about Lego is like they introduce all these weird things like these chicken legs or the hot dogs. The hot dog man from like that Lego, Indominus Escape video and all that. And I think it was
that's an actual minifigure.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say next. I think he was involved in something, right? Like, but I love that the hot dog just keeps popping up here and there. And so it's fun to see like food items and stuff being involved in or incorporated in all these sets. But yeah, I think here again you see the 2x2 plate I mentioned on the truck. Yeah. So consistency on that across the sets is kind of what makes me believe it's going to be a printed piece, which would be really nice in terms of like I'd quite like to make the Mercedes 4x4 from Jurassic World eventually, so it would be nice to have a piece to go on that. Yeah. And the truck itself, it's quite simplified, but I think, like, judging by just looking at it, you can see it like the piece along the front here is a piece that's just 6 long, so you would be able to remove that quite easily and put different details in. Yeah. So I think this is quite a nice base for a smaller capture vehicle that maybe people who want like more detailed sets could actually modify quite easily. Yeah. So I do like that, and I like how, as with everything Lego related, it's all modular and you can change it as much as you want, which is great. But I think the standout thing here is the Velociraptor. Yeah, I was going to ask you, when it comes to Lego sets, are you the type of guy that looks like deep into these sets and wonders about the film, or are you just the guy that says they're just Lego sets? Like, I wouldn't look too deep into it as to what we'll see in the movie.
I think it all depends. I think I've not actually said on the podcast before, but I buy all of the Marvel sets as well. I'm very into all my Marvel superheroes, and I'm super stoked for Infinity War.
Oh, yeah.
But I think with all those sets, a lot of it's based off of concept art. So kind of having learned that over the years and learning where that comes from, I think it's more important to look at these sets as just kind of like inspired by the material rather than fully accurate to it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think. I think people like dive too deep into them and just assume that like there's going to be green raptors everywhere in the movie, and even with the Mattel stuff too.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we'll see stuff like this, but maybe not. You know, there's a lot of odd sets and odd things that are developed as Lego or Mattel toys or whatnot that are just made for fun, or like you said, based off of old concepts or whatever. But yeah, it's fun and it's inspired by. So I like the green raptor here. It's nice. It's a nice design.
It does. The dual mold colors on it, and in addition to that, the black kind of printing for the details on it actually works really nicely. And it's completely different to any Velociraptors we've seen before, even going back to the Dino 2012 line, which is where all of the like dinosaur sculpts, like the Triceratops that I mentioned to you before we came on, come from. All of like those, they could have easily reused one of the colorations from that line and got away with it, because obviously it's quite an old line now, but they decided to do a new color scheme for it. And I don't know, I just really like it. I know a lot of people have been saying, obviously going on to the speculation, like, oh, if this is an insight into the film, is this what wild raptors would look like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think, to be fair, in a foresty environment, a colour like this would work really well, and it would look really good, so I really like it.
Yeah, that would make sense, that kind of color. And I can't wait for that scene where Owen has a chicken leg on a stick and he's taunting raptors. It's going to be so good, dude. Yeah. So good. But,
did you not know this is what he has in that backpack in the behind-the-scenes trailer?
That's what it is. I was wondering that. I mean, there was so much speculation. What is in that backpack?
Yeah, exactly.
Chicken!
He actually sellotapes the chicken stick onto a selfie stick, and then he extends the selfie stick out to the Velociraptor, and that's how he feeds it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he just wants to get real close-up pictures of the raptors. So, yeah, what you can't see on the backside is the camera.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a hidden feature you only get once you actually buy the set.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
So what's next on our list here? What do we got next?
So next up is the T-Rex breakout, which is a big jump. It's $50 for only 150 pieces, which I'm not going to lie to you, for a Lego set, that is ridiculously expensive. Yeah. But this is pushed up a lot by the fact that the T-Rex is included in it. So we get the Jurassic World gates. We get, Brad, something which I know you're going to love, a hot dog on a robotic arm.
I love that.
I think an interesting thing to mention is in 2014, when the Indominus Rex Breakouts film came out, I don't actually think that the bun piece for the hot dogs existed back then, because it's a fairly new piece. So they showed it in that film, and then it actually got made, from what I recall, or it got made around the time the film came out. Huh. So before this, you would have just seen dinosaurs getting fed hot dogs without their buns, which is quite funny to think about.
Yeah, I have seen. That's what I was thinking. Like, I have seen a few with no buns. So yeah. The hot dog on this robotic arm or whatever, like dangling it into the cage. Oh man, so great.
That's actually how they captured the Indo Raptor when they first created it. They just put a bunch of hot dogs into that cage we see in the trailer, and it was like, oh my god, and just sprinted straight in there.
Oh, guaranteed that when another Lego movie comes out for Jurassic World, that's going to happen. Like,
yeah. So one thing that's nice here is, I don't know if you've seen any of the other junior sets, but like with the Batcave and with a police station they always use this kind of gated piece as the background for it. So it's quite nice that they've integrated it into being the Jurassic World gates here, and you actually get some vegetation over it. But it just makes me wish, more so than anything, that we'd actually seen some full-size gates included in one of the sets. I think that would have been really nice. But it's definitely a nice substitution, I feel. I don't know what you think about the whole structure.
I do like it. I like it, man. I this whole set in general is very cool, and if you're, like I said before, if you're one of those people that are looking into the details and trying to put them to the film, there is
T-Rex gets fed hot dogs by the Jurassic World gate.
aside from the hot dogs, there's actually a lot of details here that are really interesting, and just as a toy set, it's really cool to have these things, like particular the eggs. There's a baby dinosaur in like a little crate. Now, I don't know. I mean, maybe you've got better insight. It looks like it could be a raptor, but it could be like a baby T-Rex. I don't know.
It is a baby velociraptor.
Okay.
It said, I want to double check the box.
Did it say it on the box art? That's where I'm looking now. I don't see anything on there, but it doesn't have the sides.
It just says baby dino on some of the main sets.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I read the other day somewhere that it is a velociraptor.
Okay.
Because in some sets we're going to touch on a little bit later that I'm not going to mention just yet.
Yeah, there are some, right?
Baby blue. So
yeah. But there's a lot like that. I don't know. Yeah, there's what is it? Let me see here. Hold on. I think there's like one of the old baby dinos from the Kenner lines or whatever that looks quite similar to that, and it's actually a T-Rex.
Oh, really?
So that's why I'm like, oh, is it a T-Rex or a raptor? It could be either to me, but if you got some insight that it's a raptor and it looks like the other figures, then yeah, that's probably what it is. But what else do we have here? We have, I like how the gate is like locked closed by putting like a wood piece between them. Yeah, so just put some wood in between them. That'll close it. Keep all the dinosaurs in. And we have Claire. We have a scratched up vehicle. Yep. Do you know who this guy is over here?
Lowry.
Is it Lowry, or is it just some Lowry-esque?
It's not actually Lowry. It's just a random scientist.
Okay, because it looks similar, right?
Yeah. I do feel like they missed an opportunity here, because they could have given us an original Jurassic Park torso, which would have been really nice.
Yeah.
And actually, this torso in particular is a reuse of a torso that came in the jungle theme that released in Lego City last year. So obviously they've just recycled the scientist piece there. But it is still nice that you get a little kind of tease at Lowry, I suppose.
Yeah, kind of like, reminiscent of what we saw before. But it's a nice little set. I didn't realize that, it has like a ramp for the vehicle to crash through. That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
I think, and again, like, obviously we're saying these are the sets that are designed more for kids. Mm-hmm. If I was a kid, if I can have a T-Rex chasing a truck that's going to smash through a gate and then have to go and get some eggs and protect a baby dinosaur,
so good.
My mind would be racing with imagination, and it is at the moment, and I'm an adult, so I just can only imagine what this set's going to be like for kids.
Yeah. One note, I like the box art, like how it looks, and specifically up top in the corner, you have like this awesome like Owen in like this crazy cool pose, and then Blue, like an adult Blue. And there's like a fiery-esque like image in the background, so it looks really cool. I like that.
It does, and if you look on the actual box art behind where the computer is, you have Mount Sibo erupting and all the Pteranodons flying away from it as well, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of Owen being the representation of everything, but I do have to say that's it's a cool image there. So, yeah.
Yeah. One final thing to touch on this and across the 3 junior sets is I don't know if you ever got your hands on any of the Jurassic World stuff and then got rid of it, or if you just saw it in shops, Brad.
Just saw it in shops, yeah.
Oh, cool. But in the original line, there was one ACU trooper who came without a vest on, and the rest of them had tactical vests on, so it's very hard to see their torsos unless you've actually got them. But the torsos used on these figures here is the exact same print that's underneath the ACU vests, but it is without the camouflage printing that they had on them. And on the 2014, I always get the release date for Jurassic World muddled up. I always think it's 2015. I don't know why. I was saying this to Sunny the other day. I always get it muddled. But on those figures, they actually had a little logo on their pocket on the shirt that says ACU. So I'll be interested to see if Lego have actually gone further and got rid of that, so these are more generic, which it does look like they have, which is quite nice.
Yeah. I don't know. That's one of those situations where you're just like, you're way over my head. So talking about vests and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, move on. Let's go. Let's keep going.
So we have the first main system set, which is the Lego Pteranodon Chase. It is $19.99 and 126 pieces. So already you can see it. The system sets do indeed include a lot more pieces. And here we have Owen, we have a tracker, we have a Jeep, and we have that brand new version of the Pteranodon that you touched on earlier. So what do you think of this one?
It's fine. I really like the Jeep concept. I think that looks really cool. I don't know what is going on. Oh, that's I guess the net trapper thing. So that's and I'm assuming it works because I like it when Legos have a functioning gun unit on them and stuff like that. The Star Wars ones I have always have like projectiles, which seem like very unsafe for kids. But but this is fun. It looks like I guess the net would go in there and actually shoot out. So that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Interesting fact for you, and this is going to make you laugh. The actual line that the net launchers were introduced in was a police line as a way to catch criminals.
Well, that's how we do it here in the States. We put our nets together and just that's exactly how it works. We catch everybody. Got to catch them all.
Yeah, it's very successful. I'll recommend it to British police. We need to stop hitting people with our sticks and start using net launchers instead. And
for some reason, every human in these sets are just taking all the eggs. They want all the eggs. So Owen here has a nice egg too.
Like, obviously, I don't like to read into it too much, like we were saying, but it is interesting to consider if in Fallen Kingdom, because we know obviously they're removing the dinosaurs, are they maybe taking the eggs as well so they can make some kind of nature preserve somewhere where the dinosaurs can reproduce and just live in peace?
Exactly. And before even, I know I was joking about that just a second ago, but I hadn't even thought of that before that. That's a really good point that, they want to save the dinosaurs, but there's for sure going to be eggs all over the place that they most likely want to save as well. So, man, that's going to be crazy because, the dinosaurs aren't going to like that particularly if that's the case. And, man, it could create some awesome chaos. I don't know.
Yeah, it could get very interesting. One thing I really like here, I'm not really a fan. I know the Jeep, I agree with you, the Jeep's cool, but the one thing I don't like is how small the windscreen is. I think that looks a little bit kind of, funny.
It is pretty small, yeah, and it's probably under the head, so it wouldn't, really do much, right?
Yeah, so this is one of the sets that I'm probably going to modify a little bit when I get my hands on it.
Okay.
I also like here how the soldiers in the main system sets have a completely different print that's brand new. So they have these really nice legs on them that have shoulder pads and a gun strap on one leg. And then they also have those tactical vests, which actually look super detailed for a Lego print, which is really nice, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that guy. He looks cool. I got no issues with that. So that's awesome. I like this little set. I mean, it's nothing special, but it's a cute little vehicle.
It's a nice starter set, I think.
I would just get it for the vehicle alone. That's about it. I mean, like we said with some of these pieces, it really depends on the price.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think it's safe to say that Lego definitely isn't the cheapest thing on the market. So
yeah, and that's always been my issue with is especially a lot of the Jurassic pieces are pretty small, the set wise. So I don't feel comfortable enough spending like you said $50 or whatever up even from there. For a small set, and all the sets that I've had have been purchased by somebody else, like either Christmas or my birthday or something like that. So I'm not used to buying these on my own in general. So
that makes a lot of sense, and I think I think for me as well, because obviously I've said to you in the past that Lego is the main thing I collect. I think that's kind of how I'm able to justify it. I think if I was looking at buying more of the Mattel line, which I'm considering, but again, money adds up in the end.
Yeah.
I think if I was buying a lot more of that line, then it would definitely be a case of, well, these things are better value than these sets here, and it would kind of, it definitely breaks down to money with a lot of the sets and how much the different things cost.
Yeah. So what's next on the list here?
Next on the list, we have my absolutely favourite set, because it is one of the cheaper sets, and it is, in my opinion, to say a stereotypically British word, I'm not sure if you're going to have to censor this out or not, bloody amazing. And, yeah.
I think we're good. We're okay.
We're good? Yeah, cool. Okay, so there's no Velociraptor in the room all of a sudden. Cool.
Or I could just put it in there and everybody would be like, whoa, what did he say? What
just like, what does that mean? Oh my god. So this is Lego Stygimoloch Breakout.
I had a feeling you were going there. I was kind of looking through the list here, and I'm like, maybe that's where he's going. And I was right. And guess what? Eggs. More eggs.
Yeah. Eggs. We're going to fry them, we're going to poach them, we're going to scramble them.
You never had a dinosaur omelet? Oh, they're so good, man.
Yeah. But, do you know what? I think we've just given Universal a new idea for a dish to serve Islands of Adventure. The Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, Dinosaur Omelette.
You just
T-Rex, Velociraptor, or Stygimoloch.
But they all taste identical, but they're like different price sets.
Yeah. Oh my god. I feel like there's a joke about Lego there all being identical but different prices as well. Oh my god. So yeah, this one I'm going to read the description of because that is how excited for this set I am. So it says, sound the alert, the Stygimoloch is broken free. Help it smash through the lab door and cause mayhem by flipping the workbench over and smashing the window. Then make a speedy escape. The guard won't believe his eyes when he sees the Stygimoloch charging towards him, so call for backup! Yeah. I think that sums it up quite nicely.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I really like this set. I think the equivalent for it in the Jurassic World line was the Dilophosaurus ambush, which is my favourite set. I bought 2 of that set from the Jurassic World line, so I could have 2 of the Wrangler-style Jeeps and 2 of the Dilophosaurs.
Yeah.
So I really like that set. But I think when you compare it to this, you get so much more here and something that's much more useful. That set came with an ACU soldier and also Grey. So, you know, one of the characters, but arguably one of the less desirable characters. Whereas here you get Dr. Wu, who I think is really a desirable character. And in the past, he's only come in an $110 set or a polybag that was exclusive with a certain version of the Jurassic World game. So it's really nice to be able to get him in a cheaper set. I don't know, what do you think about having Wu here? Do you like him? Do you think his new appearance looks good?
Yeah, man, I have no problems with it. I like it. What has he got in his hand? Is that a cup?
It is indeed a coffee mug.
So random. Well, I guess he had not really. I guess in Jurassic World he was sipping on some tea or whatever. So I guess that's where it comes into play. But
yellow-colored tea technically. So
yeah. Well, I have no problem with that. I think it's interesting. Just it's one of those pieces that people can look into or not. It's cool, and I love the Stygimoloch here.
He's becoming a human hybrid. He's drinking stuff to make himself one of the human hybrids. That's the sales script. Oh my god!
He's using the eggs. He's cracking the eggs into his tea, and that's what happened. That's how you create human hybrids.
He's doing a microwave dinosaur omelet.
Yeah, that's what this giant thing, this contraption here is. It's not a cage to hold a dinosaur. It's a cage to hold him and something to heat up his coffee. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like we're taking a few dips here at straying very close to what you and Jen do on the mailbag.
I was just going to say, this is very mailbag-esque, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to have to do another funky Photoshop at the end of this one, I think.
No!
So yeah, and the actual design for the set here is based very heavily off... I don't know if you ever saw the LEGO Store exclusive set that came with Barry, which was Raptor Escape, but... the set here is modelled very similarly to that in terms of the fact that you have a couple of sections of fencing, a gate which lifts up horizontally, and then the rear section to it. But here the fencing feels a lot more solid, it feels a lot more like a proper containment unit. And around in the back of the structure here, in the little lab area, you actually, I don't know if you've got a photo where you can see it, or if the photo you've got just has it peeking up, but actually, if I send you this photo quickly, we have 2 very nice little things here. We have firstly got the actual scan of the Stygimoloch skull, which is really cool to see a graphic for, and we also have a little calendar on the wall with a Lego Brachiosaurus on it.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so
that's interesting.
It's nice to see them dropping in little details like that. I think they're always welcome, and they just add a lot more to kind of the stylized nature of these Lego sets.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's important to kind of match up to that expectation. But obviously, one thing we've not touched on, which is the namesake of the entire set, is the Stygimoloch itself. So what do you think of the mold?
I love it, man. It's so interesting looking. It's unlike, a lot of the dinosaurs we've ever seen in the series before, and it's so cool. It's so awesome looking.
I think it's really nice to have a new herbivore in LEGO sets as well, because I'm sure you've seen a lot of people kicking off online, because a lot of the LEGO sets do tend to be Carnosaur based.
Yeah, that works. Whatever. We got it.
So it's nice to get a new herbivore here. And an interesting thing to note that I'm sure you can tell is the arms, the legs, and the head are new, but the body is actually a recolored raptor body.
Okay, I was gonna say this color seems to be a trend. At least this color combination in a way. I feel like I see this a lot on a lot of the different dinosaurs. So it seems nothing new color-wise, but I do like the mold. I think it looks awesome.
Yeah, cool. Well, I think we've covered this set in quite a bit of detail. Shall we move on to the next one?
Let's do it.
Cool. So the next set we have is Lego's... I'm struggling with my words now. My brain's just melting over all this omelette talk. We have Lego Blues Helicopter Pursuit. There we go. Not Lego Blues flavoured omelette. Nope. This is a $39.99 set, and it comes with 397 pieces. Yeah. So this was one of the first sets we had revealed because it was shown at Nuremberg. And I'm not really sure what I think about this set. I think this is one of my least favourite sets. I'm not sure what you think about this one, Brad.
Well, I think I've mentioned before that I like it, but isn't this a repeat of a helicopter or something like that?
So it's very similar to a lot of the designs that have been used in the Lego City line. So this piece, I don't think the front piece has been done in dark blue before, but it actually, do you not know it has, because it's been in another city set. But yeah, it's very similar in style to a lot of the police helicopters they do, which is one seat in the back, a very small cargo bay, and stuff like that. And one thing I did actually notice on this set is if you look at the rotor on the helicopter, it is ridiculously far forward on the body of the helicopter. It looks like, if you look through the window, there's a grey pole coming down. So I assume, and you can see the black gear on the underbelly of the helicopter. Mm-hmm. So what they've done to avoid having the actual cargo bay have some of the space eaten up, they've put the rotor further forward so kids can actually turn that gear to make the rotor spin. But I think kind of in doing that, you do get a compromise where obviously you get a really nice play feature, but it also throws the aesthetic of the helicopter out of whack a little bit, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying. It doesn't bother me too much. It looks like the blades are really long, so it looks like it covers like a lot of the span of the helicopter, and that doesn't bother me too much. I like this set quite a bit. Because this is all kind of new to me in a way, the Lego stuff. So this is cool. I think it's awesome. It's got a lot of playability, whether it's capturing the Raptor or using the six-wheeler. Like, that's pretty cool. It's got the helicopter where you can shoot the pellets at the Raptor. It's got all kinds of features, and I really like that. I like how well you can play with this. So there's a lot going on here. There's a piece of chicken. There's more eggs. You can make an awesome omelet out of this set.
Chicken, dinosaur, egg, omelette thing.
Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah, I agree with you. I think actually in retrospect, I'm being very critical because I'm more of an adult fan. But I think
what are you saying? I'm a kid?
Concept. Go ahead.
What are you saying? I'm a kid?
No. Well, I mean, yeah, sure, Brad. I'm complimenting you. You look I can't even get my words out now. You look a lot younger than you really are.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I don't know.
I think I saved it, just about, possibly. But yeah, I think what you're saying is actually very true. It's for me, when I look at this, I think, oh my god, those big lights, that big gun turret, I'm going to have to remove them from the build. But as a kid, I would really love this set because of all the playability it's built into it. Yeah. And actually, a really nice touch with it is if you look at the way the lights and the turret are embedded, they're just embedded on a simple ball joint.
Yeah.
So as a fan, if you want to just pop them off and have a normal helicopter, it's really easy to do that, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
And one thing I love here as well is Blue's little capture thing.
Mm-hmm.
It feels really like, I don't know, I feel like they didn't have to put the little bits of vegetation on it, but just by adding that, it feels a lot more like a habitat as opposed to just a cage. It feels like, I don't know, it almost speaks volumes of the DPG trying to capture these dinosaurs more humanely.
Oh, but they're also shooting it too, so I don't know what's going on.
That is a very fair point.
They're tranks. They're tranks.
Clearly, that's why they're green.
Yeah, I don't know, but I like that vegetation. It's like, here, raptor, 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 raptor. We're not trying. This is not a cage. This is a bush. Come walk in here. There's a piece of chicken laying on the ground. So
there's chicken, but where's the hot dog?
I don't know. The raptors don't like hot dogs. They're all about the chickens. Yeah. So or the turkey legs or whatever it is.
Something funny, Brad. The chicken piece has a little pin on the underside of it that can hook into things. If you look in the cage, that green jumper piece that has the single hole in it will be where you'll actually be able to pin the chicken into the cage to lure Blue in.
Okay, and I'm going to take it even a step farther to prove your theory about the backpack.
Oh my god.
Look at Owen's backpack. He's got the backpack and there's a piece of chicken here. So I think you're right. I think that's exactly what was in that backpack.
Jurassic Park Podcast, folks.
Exclusive, yeah.
Yeah, but, we've completely debunked this film.
Do you want to talk about one of the characters we see here?
Yes. We get Ken Wheatley, who is played by Ted Levine. He is... I'm kind of speculating that he's going to be a double agent kind of character.
Definitely feels like it, yeah.
Yeah. He feels nice. He has a brand new face print that we've never seen before, which is cool. He's got his cap. He's got his iconic jacket. The only thing I really wish they'd done differently here is just in the last year, they've done a dark tan leg piece that has cargo pockets printed on it that's being used in a Marvel set for Who am I? Who is the villain in Black Panther?
Yeah, you're right, I think. I have not seen the movie yet. Spoilers, man! God!
Yeah, oh my god, he has cargo pants.
He has cargo pants?
Wait, what?
The movie's ruined for me now. I can't believe it. Ugh.
Next, you'll be shocked when I tell you that Cap has a beard in Infinity War. What?
No! Don't tell me that!
But yeah, I just wish they'd used that because sometimes the simple legs can detract from the overall appeal of a minifigure. But he does look really good. And I like how he's got the bandolier, like we see in the trailer, with what looks like the little syringes that are tranquilizers in it. Yeah. And also, on the back of this minifigure, he does have printed, Brad, a backpack.
Ooh, does he? Okay.
He does, so I wonder what's in that backpack.
Ooh, I don't know. Can't be anything good.
Nope, nothing good. But yeah, overall, it's a really nice set, and I agree with you. There's a lot built into it that's obviously, designed for play. Yeah. And I think the only reason it's one of my least favourite sets is because of the price of it. And
what was it again?
It's a $40 set. And
I don't feel like that's not too bad. I feel like you're getting a lot for your $40. Like it's not so bad. Like I'm
to be fair,
anything over 40 is like a little pushing it for me.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna love the next few then, Brad.
Oh yeah, I know.
The only thing I'm not a fan of here is actually Blue. I feel like the one we got in 2014 was a lot closer to her color scheme.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't fault it too much. I don't really care too much about the color scheme there, but it is interesting. It's a bit different than we're used to.
Okay, so I think we've covered that set quite nicely.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on, we have one of the sets that got leaked quite early on. I think I messaged you the dinosaur from this one quite early on, and I was like, oh my god, look at what we're getting. But we have the Lego Carnotaurus gyrosphere escape set. Now, this is quite a big jump in price. We go from $40 to $80. And Are you okay, Brad? Do you need a moment?
Anybody want to gift me this set? Go ahead. Sure, I'll take it. I mean, I'd love to have this one. This is actually my favorite one, I think.
Yeah, this is my second favourite one. The most expensive one, ironically enough, is my favourite, and we'll touch on that in a moment. But I really like what's going on here, and I'm not sure if you've seen the latest images, but one of my few questions with it was, how does the trailer come into the set? Because the trailer with the truck just felt like wasted pieces, but actually it's used to sit the gyrosphere on it, which is really cool.
Oh, is it? Okay, so it sits on the back of the trailer?
Yeah, I will send you that photo now.
Yeah. It looks like it's got like a little satellite or something on there too?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I also think if you're looking at the back of the container that goes on the back of the Unimog, which is the truck in this set, you have like a little blue thing inside. So it looks like there's going to be a jumper or something that this computer console can actually sit on inside the back of the truck, or maybe something else can go inside the back.
Yeah,
of the
that
truck.
computer. Okay. Yeah. There's again a lot of stuff here to look at, and yeah, I like it. I like this one a lot. This is, when I first saw this one, it was my favorite one because of the dinosaur, because of the interesting gyrosphere set, and the addition of the vehicle. I really like the vehicle here.
So it's very rugged. It feels very appropriate for the mercenaries in the film.
Yeah, exactly. Except we don't really get any mercenaries in this set, do we?
No. It's interesting because in the actual box art, it is our good friend Owen Grady who is driving this truck, and Claire is popping out through the little like gun turret gap that's on top of the truck, which is
I like that image. That's a welcoming image there. So she's actually taking charge and doing that.
Which is cool.
Yeah. So I was wondering, is that is Owen then? This figure here, it doesn't necessarily look like Owen to me, but I can't really tell. It's not a giant image, but
so the figure here is Owen, but he's got his cargo shirt off, so his cargo vest is off. He's in just his Kenley shirt. It's not a Kenley shirt, is it? It's like a Henley or something like that.
Specifics, man. I don't know.
Pacific Rim.
Pacifics.
What? Crossover.
Yes, exactly. Emily Carmichael writing Jurassic World 3, Pacific Rim, Uprising. It all makes sense, right?
It's all in the same universe. Wait, so does that mean the Indominus is actually a kaiju? What?
I think you're right. Yeah, especially it's coming out of the water this time around. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, so he's really cool because he actually has dino scratches on one side of his torso, and this is something that we've seen on the Mattel line, and there is also some other stuff out there from actual filming, which I'm not going to touch on more than that you can go and look at, which is suggestive that something like this could happen to Owen in the film, which is quite cool. Yeah, so here, of course, the truck itself is very similar to the veterinary truck that came in Raptor Rampage, and that is because they actually used the same type of truck in the film. So the Mercedes Unimog, which was used in the Jurassic World film for the veterinary truck, has actually been spotted on one of the locations I visited last week with a kind of like troop transport style attachment on the back of it. So it's quite authentic, which is cool to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. I'm wondering specifically here, what are these orange things?
The orange...
Are those lava pieces again?
Yeah, they're meant to be bits of lava, so there's a play feature built into the tree where you like hit
I think I see it, yeah.
Now
that you point that out, yeah, it looks like they're hidden up in the top, right?
Yeah, because that's where a volcanic eruption comes from, the top of the tree.
From trees, yeah. Exactly. So, I mean, that's cool. It kind of makes sense. This moment, it looks like they're outrunning lava and smoke and everything. So, that would be a good touch.
On that run sequence from the trailer for sure.
But yeah, I do like this. I like that vehicle. I like. I have to say though, disappointing because there's no hot dogs or chickens.
Well, you never know, Brad. Maybe in the back of the truck, we can't see all the way into it.
That's true. It could be something.
Franklin is actually, he's just eaten a hot dog or some chicken, and the Carnotaurus can smell it, and that's why it's chasing after him, and Owen and Claire are having to come to the rescue.
Well, I might be wrong here, but is that a bone? Is that a chicken bone? Maybe he ate the chicken, and he's like, Franklin was hungry. Do you see it next to the computer? There's like a syringe and then a bone or something. What is that?
That could be. I'm not entirely sure.
It's like a white on white background. It's kind of hard to see. I think it's a bone. So maybe he was hungry. But there's also like a shovel or a spatula. So maybe they were cooking up some eggs, and the chicken. They carved the chicken up or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
the tranquilizer gun was clearly used to inject some extra flavor into the chicken.
Yeah,
which is always a good plan.
Always.
And then I reckon that big turret on top of the truck was used to just add that char grilled effect to the chicken. A lot of people like.
Yeah. There's no fire pit here, so how else are you gonna do it?
Exactly.
I mean, there is lava though, so maybe they dipped it. I don't know.
Yeah. It's oh my god. I'm like trying to think what I was gonna say now.
Nobody knows.
Yes. No. I really like the little hint of the gyrosphere station here. Mm-hmm. This is something that when I get the actual set, I want to try and build out a bit more to have the full gyrosphere station.
Yeah.
And I think it's really, really nice that LEGO have actually given people the sign for people who do want to make that, because that is a little detail that they didn't have to include next to this. It could have just been a blank launch pad, but actually including that little signage there makes it a lot easier for people who want to build that and actually have it as a feature to, go away and do that, which is really cool.
Yeah, that was one of the standout points for me, that gyrosphere. The words and the little logo above it, that's really cool. I'm interested to see like how well these like buttons or whatever they are going to work for the launching aspect of the gyrosphere. So that'll be interesting.
It's actually a very similar structure to the one which came in the Indominus. I think it was called Indominus Breakout, the biggest set they did for the Jurassic World line. Okay. On the front of that paddock, you had a removable section which was a gyrosphere launch station, and it is very similar to this, and it shoots it like it goes proper flying across the room when you press it.
Yeah, that's what I'm always afraid of. They don't launch too far, but this one sounds like it will. What else we have? We have another baby raptor or whatever it is. So there's that. Looks tiny compared to the Carno.
Yeah, I think the Carno here. I know a lot of people kicked off because I don't know if you can tell because it's a different colour, but it actually reuses the Indominus Rex's body from the Jurassic World sets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that is that recoloured. But I think it works really well. And I think the Carno looks really good. The new arms are nice on it. And a nice thing that I know a lot of people were worried about is because of the design of the jaw, people didn't think it would be able to shut fully. But I've seen some photos online of it with its jaw fully shut as well, which is cool. They didn't compromise on that.
Yeah, I do like this thing. I think it looks cool. I don't care that it reuses stuff. But dinosaurs, some of them look the same, so it's okay. Yeah, exactly. And I just like the design on the head here. That's really the part that you care about with this kind of dinosaur. It looks stylistic.
Carnotaurus, the character it is.
Yeah, it looks cartoony. It looks fun. I like it a lot. So. Yeah, I think this is probably my favorite set due to all those pieces combined. It looks really awesome.
Yeah. One thing I'm going to touch on quickly before we move on to the final core set is the box art here. I really like how each of the dinosaurs, if you look, is inside a little capture cage looking out through it. I think that's a really nice detail they've added to the lineup. And actually, as far as I recall, on the first wave of sets, the dinosaurs weren't shown with the minifigures, so it's nice to have them shown here as well. Mm-hmm. I think that's just a really nice little graphical detail. Right, so, Brad, are you sitting down?
I am, yeah. I've podcasted before standing, but not today. Not today, I'm sitting.
I'm glad you're sitting down, Brad, because our final set is retailing at $130. It has...
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it has 1,019 pieces, and it is the LEGO Indo Raptor Rampage at Lockwood Estate. So, Brad, what do you think of this set?
I gotta say, man, I don't love it, per se. I think it's fine. I think it's nice. It's one of those pieces I would like to be bigger, I think.
Yeah.
But it looks like it will be fun, that's for sure.
I think a good comparison on perhaps how they could have done it differently, and I'm just Googling this to send you the photo, is when the Lego Batman movie came out, they did a big set for Arkham Asylum, and I think maybe, if I send it to you, they could have learnt a little bit from that in terms of getting different scales for things and making it feel a lot more imposing. But as it is, I really like this one. I think the aesthetic design for it as a manor house is fantastic. I really like the piping detail you have going up the side that shows like the drainage, because that was something that they just didn't have to add in, but they committed to adding that extra texture there. I think that the colour red for the roof is done really well and it stands out nicely. The glass for the roof sits in really well, because obviously sometimes with Lego, when you build in a play feature, it can be quite obvious it's a play feature, but here it kind of submerges itself in the design of the building quite nicely. And I absolutely love the interior. I know a lot of people have been kicking off about the lack of detail to the interior, but I think it's fantastic. I don't know, what do you think about the interior side of things here, Brad?
Well, first off, seeing that other Lego Batman one that you sent me, that looks really cool. I like the design of that a lot more because there's more to it. It's not so simple. I feel like the outside is pretty simple when it comes to the Lego Indominus one. I just closed it.
It's very, what's the word? It is symmetrical when perhaps it shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly. It's just too flat. It's a little, I don't know. Just, it's fine. I think it's interesting, but I like that Batman one a little bit more. And the size, like I said, I'd like the size to be a little bit bigger, especially because of the interior. I'd like it to be bigger because the rooms are tiny. Like especially most of the bigger the rooms on the building itself are just like fit for one person, and that's it. Nothing really. The little girl's bedroom is just a bed.
Yeah, that is true.
So it's funny how it all works out that way. But I'd wish it was a little bit bigger. And then the base, you have like this more museum-esque room with the Triceratops kind of dinosaur, whatever it is. I don't think we've even figured that out yet, but whatever that is, this is the fossil there. So it's very small to me, but I could see it appealing to some people, and the playability could be pretty good, maybe. So that's interesting, especially some of the pictures I've seen, how they're posing the dinosaurs and the people and all that. So
I am just quickly going back through some of Chris Pugh's photographs from Toy Fair, and I think it's fair to give him a massive shout out because he did a fantastic job getting some really good coverage of what was shown at New York Toy Fair. I'm just going through. So here we have 2 character names revealed. We have this is going to be a fun one to pronounce. Toby Jones' character, who everyone thought was going to be called Wheaton, is actually called Gunnar Eversole. What do you think of that, Brad?
Yeah, well, I don't know how you said that, but that was interesting. I would have assumed just Gunnar. Gunnar. I would just say Gunnar. That's what I'm going with, because I'm just like a lazy American that's just like, hey, Gunnar, you know?
And then we have Maisie, whose name we did already know, but the interesting fact here is that it is Maisie Lockwood.
Yeah, that is interesting. I don't know how that'll all fit together. We obviously know this Gunnar guy. He's not going to be a good guy. Eli Mills is also part of this, right? I can't see all the one with the names.
Although,
but
the thing that bothers me with Eli is the face they've used on him is a kind of face that gets used for generic characters in all of the Lego sets that use flesh tones. So it was originally introduced as a head for Lex Luthor when they did the first version of Lex Luthor, and since then it's just used for generic characters.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. So this is we have Ken in there too. Owen and Claire. And then what is the? I can't see, this image is too small. What does the dinosaur one say? Just baby dinosaur or what?
Yeah, just baby dino.
Okay.
I've just sent you a photo from the Carnotaurus set while I was looking through for something for this set, because it's a detail I've not picked up on before. But actually, the gyrosphere printing in the Carnotaurus set has a crack on it, which is really cool. because it makes it a lot more distinctive to the one we've already got, and that's something that I literally just noticed a couple of seconds ago.
Yeah, that is nice. And I see there's a lot of scratches now on the gyrosphere thing. I didn't notice those before. It's nice when the logo uses, instead of like a human, it actually is a Lego piece, like a Lego human. That's pretty cool.
It adds a lot
and
more
the crack
to the
is cool too.
Thing.
Yeah.
I'm sending you through a couple more photos that Chris got, which is something I want to touch on, because these prints inside the manor are phenomenal. If you take a look at them, we get some really nice Lego-style museum prints, which go inside that area of the manor house, which looks fantastic, I think.
Yeah, those are really nice.
I really like the graphic artwork there. The laboratory space here looks really nice. There's a lot of different things to it. A computer console, an area for the baby dinosaur to go. Some kind of like, I presume it's like a DNA code for maybe a new hybrid or something. Because I don't know if you can see it on the images, but the piece that's on the clip right underneath the window, in one of the other shots, you see Claire running and holding it. So presumably it's something that they're trying to steal, although then again, it could not be anything specific whatsoever because it's Lego. But it's still something that's quite interesting to note. Mm-hmm. Maisie's bed, and this is a really nice feature because in the latest trailer we obviously see her curled up in the bed hiding from the Indo Raptor. You can actually lift up her bed and hide her underneath it and then close it back down.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I see that now, yeah. There's a lot of like interesting pieces that I didn't notice on first glance, like the breakout windows. There's like a trap door on the roof for the Indo Raptor to kind of fall off of. There's a lot of like cool pieces in this one that I didn't necessarily see before. Still wish it was bigger, but I could see the playability here being fun. What is Owen doing? Owen is like flying through the air. With an axe? Okay. Is that an axe in his hand? We
need to say potential spoiler warning, because it adds a lot to the theory that Wheatley is indeed a villain when in this set Owen is fighting him.
He's like doing like this crazy like Avengers style jump through the air, which I'm assuming he jumps off this balcony or something. Yeah. And there's a lot of like crashed pieces all around, and he's jumping with that's an axe, right? I'm seeing that right.
It's an axe.
Man, he is hardcore. He's going hard for Wheatley there. Jeez, man, straight with an axe, and he's trying to shoot him. So there's a lot going on, and it looks like what's his name? Is that Gunnar chasing Claire?
Yeah.
He has something in his hands, or is that something on the wall?
It's the mallet that you would use in a courtroom. So obviously, where he's the auctioneer.
Oh, in the auction. Yeah. Okay.
It's that. Yeah.
Huh. Okay. So there's that. That trapdoor thing on the roof, because they've got this battle between Blue and the Indo Raptor on the roof here.
And you can actually see. Are you looking at the shot where you can see all the interior right now? You are, aren't you? Because I've got the same shot with the axe up. You can see if you look in the left chimney, and then underneath all of the left red there, that is the bar piece on the outside with the little orb on it that you actually pull out to make the trapdoor drop.
Oh, okay.
It's so bad. I can tell that just from a photo, but there you go.
I see that. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, you can pull it out there. Okay. Yeah.
What do you think of the actual Indo Raptor? I think it's a bit too big.
I was just gonna say, man, it's huge. It's like almost maybe more than half the size of the house. Like, it's giant. Like that's a little much. But maybe the scale. I'm trying to wonder if the scale to Blue is accurate. Maybe, but That's what I mean. The scale of the house to me is too small, because Blue is not the size of an entire room or anything like that. So that's a little odd. I think the scale on the dinosaurs might be okay, but it's the scale to everything else that bothers me a little bit.
The house is definitely scaled for minifigures. It's not scaled really for like dinosaurs to be used inside the house.
Yeah.
I think the only dinosaur that would work inside the house beyond the little baby is possibly the Gallimimus.
Okay.
Although, then again, this is a fun fact for you. The Gallimimus we got in 2014, the sculpt they used is actually a Coelophysis.
Oh, really?
So that we've never actually got a proper Gallimimus. Yeah. That was... There you go, guys. Some more geeky Lego knowledge. Only with Tom here. Yeah. Oh, God. But another interesting thing to note is if you see the pinholes in the end of the balcony pieces. This is something that Lego does with modular sets where you can remove components. So potentially you'll be able to remove the sides of the manor and reposition them so they like curve inwards. You'll be able to remove the banisters and put them elsewhere. So I think if there is anyone who wants to like change the appearance of the manor or potentially add to it, it definitely looks like there's the options for that.
Okay. And then aside from that, what do we have? We have a bunch of little pieces that it can come with. There's another egg. There's a few guns or whatever. Maybe one gun, I guess. Then we have...
the bike is here as well, which is quite interesting.
The bike. We have that axe. We have... Is that an umbrella?
Yes.
A closed umbrella. We have like a radio in a hand. We have that mallet. And we have this baby dinosaur, which is actually not even a baby dinosaur. It's the model dinosaur from that scene.
It's
so
Daisy's toy.
that's really cool that it's not just a baby dino. It's actually like a model dino from the movie. So that's cool.
In the actual set, it is used as a baby dino as well. So
is it
in
the
one
same
of the,
exact
on the
one?
box shots, it's being scanned in some of the laboratory equipment. So I wonder if maybe
interchangeable.
Like, imagine if it was some sick twisted thing where Lockwood has given his like granddaughter a baby raptor to look after.
Oh, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think we're definitely, like, clearly from these sets we know exactly what's going to happen in the film. They're all super accurate, you know.
Exactly,
We've like, worked it all out now, Brad. Me and you are probably sorted.
Again, disappointed there's no food items here aside from the egg. I mean, come on, Lego, what are you doing? Get some chicken and hot dogs. The big enough set, you know.
I mean, technically there are a bunch of bones in this set because we do have the like ceratopsian skull, but beyond that, you know, not too much to compete with.
That's what it was. They cooked up a real ceratopsian there, and then they just left the bones there. Yeah.
What the hell kind of dinosaur have they cooked up in that lab?
Oh God, no.
Oh God. Right. So moving on from this, we now have some exclusive sets to talk about. These were only recently announced. They've not technically been officially announced yet. They got published early on the Walmart website and the other one got leaked. But we're going to touch on them anyway because people within the community have been touched on them. Have been touching on them. There we go.
I don't know. That sounds just as bad, but yeah.
God,
they've been talking about them.
Yeah, there we go. People have been talking about them, so we're going to do it too. So, Brad, I'm going to start with the smaller Jurassic World exclusive here. We have the Dilophosaurus Outpost Ambush, and what do you think of this one?
Let me bring up the picture.
Do you want me to send you one?
No, I got it. It's okay. Nothing, not my deal. You know, it's fine. Yeah. It's got some interesting pieces like this little crane thing. A tower, I guess. It's got a female ACU-ish kind of person, right? Some different ACU kind of guys. And there's is that a baby? Is that baby blue? I can't really tell. It's a baby.
It is baby blue, but within the description for the set, it's listed as a baby Dilophosaurus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so there's another cup, a mug. We got some coffee drink in here.
There's some binoculars here, so you can spot those eggs before you make that omelet.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, the guy. Yeah, he's just sitting there drinking his coffee, like it's another good day. No breakouts are gonna happen today. And so it breaks out. But okay. I see what this crane is used for, like loading in and out the baby raptor, but also the door's wide open, so just go in and get it. So I don't know.
It is a bit like, okay, it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah. What is that? What is that white thing next to the coffee mug? It looks like a tooth.
The white thing next to the coffee mug. Where am I looking?
It's one of the big sets of the entire set. Pictures from the entire set.
Is this a photo where the Dilophosaur and the baby are to the right hand side?
Yes.
And the guy with that, Brad, is a pair of binoculars.
Oh, that's the binoculars? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was like a giant tooth.
You never know.
That's why you're here.
Yeah. I I actually really like this set. I think that my kind of interpretation of it is it's inspired by the restricted area fencing we see in Jurassic World. I wouldn't be surprised if it's inspired by that shot where we get Jeep 29, Zack and Gray go through the security gate. So that's kind of where I reckon this has come from. Unless Lockwood Manor has some fencing around it, which I don't really believe it will. I like the Dilophosaur here. A lot of people were saying that it's very close to the Jurassic Park Dilophosaur in terms of its appearance. I don't know, do you agree with that?
Yeah, it definitely looks similar to it. It is like an overall confusing set to me. Like, it's just one of those inspired by things that we were talking about before. Because as far as we know, there's no outposts. There's no, however, this is like a giant Dilophosaurus if you're talking about scale. So that's a little confusing to me. So technically they're saying like the one we saw in Jurassic Park was this tiny baby versus this giant Dilophosaurus. So that's confusing. Overall, I'm confused by the whole thing, but it's fine. It's nothing special to me.
I think it's just it's nice to have an exclusive that's modelled around a structure, because I think where LEGO suffers a lot is they tend to go for vehicles and nothing more. So having kind of structures that you can put in place, and like if you were to connect, say, 2 of this set, you would probably have a really good looking fence.
I guess so. Yeah,
option to like do that, I think, is quite nice.
Yeah, to add on to something else, it's fine. There was a set earlier where you said it was $40, and I was like, that's a good price there.
That was helicopter.
Okay, so I feel like for that price point, because this is the same price, right? Like, I think that one is way better of a deal than this one. I feel like you're not getting much of anything with this set.
I think the helicopter has so many different components to it, and this one, beyond the outpost, it doesn't feel like there's much to it. Like, I feel like it would have been better if maybe this set had been an add-on to the back of Lockwood Manor. So that was something that I speculated originally when we saw the first photos of Lockwood Manor with the pins I mentioned earlier. It could have been cool to maybe have like an add-on to it that maybe added a big laboratory or like a facility to the back of it, because like you'll remember in the episode I recorded last week, on location in England, it did appear that there was some kind of loading facility on the back of the Lockwood Manor building, so having something like that would have been quite cool, I think.
Yeah, and we've seen footage of that from the trailers, like that kind of facility. So we know that it exists, but that would be this would be a nice add-on for something like that, I think. But overall, I'm not too thrilled by it. It's just okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I do like we get 3 mercenaries here, though.
Yeah,
but
different ones than I've seen before, so that's nice.
Although they do all use the same torso and leg printing, which is a little bit disappointing. But it is what it is. I do think that either this set or the next set we are going to talk about should have included old Ian Malcolm. Because if we're not getting... Obviously, we don't know that he's going to be that major a part in the film. But I just feel as though since the sets aren't really based on actual scenes, there was definitely the potential to just throw him in. And I think it would have made the 2 sets we're about to look at sell a lot better. Because obviously this set, I'm not entirely sure if it will sell because there is no named character in it.
I know, and that's the problem. I would have liked to have seen maybe the Dilophosaurus scene from Jurassic Park more than this.
Yeah, that would have
been way cooler. Just like, a log with like a Jeep stuck to it and like maybe a tunnel or something and just like a small tree set or something where you could have the Dilophosaurus and Dennis Nedry. That would have been really cool. And then obviously the cryo can could have been a part of it. Like, it would have been awesome set. That would have sold like crazy. Compared to this, I don't really know what the point of this one is, per se.
Yeah. I think you'll agree with me as well. With the Dilophosaurus set, the Jeep we got back in 2014 is quite accurate to the original Wrangler design. So they didn't even really have to do that much work in terms of designing it. They could have just recolored that Jeep, and I think a lot of people would have been happy. So yeah, that is definitely something that I wish we had seen. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Well, we've got one more before the set that I think we want to discuss with everyone, which is the T-Rex tracker. So this is the set that's just been leaked. We believe it's going to retail for $70. That's what people are saying. And this set includes a big truck. We get a small kind of medical console. We get another, what is a generic baby dino, but is in fact baby blue. We get Zia Rodriguez, and we get 2 guards. What do you think of this set, Brad?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this one. Yeah. Zia...
Does that sum up your thoughts on it? Yeah, it's forgettable, enough said.
I like this better than the Dilophosaurus one, to be honest. I like the truck. The T-Rex design is interesting, but it's fine. That doesn't bother me too much. It's a cool design. I'd like to see something like that in a film. Zia, it's nice that we have her here. I don't know what's going on in this scene per se. Like, it's interesting. Like, I don't know what the correlation is between this set, like a truck that's breaking out with 2 like ACU kind of guys, and then Zia in like a little lab. So I feel like it's, I don't know. It's interesting. And we've got baby that says baby blue, right? Or something. What does it say? I can't see.
I think it just says baby dino.
Baby dino again. Okay, but it looks like the blue figure, right?
Yeah, it is definitely modelled on baby blue for sure. If you look towards the right-hand corner of the box art, Brad, that is the water. So this is set on a dock, which I wonder if this was inspired by the San Diego incident at all.
Huh. That's interesting. Maybe. I mean, maybe it's. It could be like the Mosasaurus area, right? I mean, maybe it's like breaking out next to the Mosasaur arena area. As far as this, like, individually they're fine. I just don't know what the correlation is between the 2 pieces. It almost reminds me of that. What are they in? Like, are they in that boat or in a truck or something when they're administering something to Blue? Maybe like knocking her out or bringing her back or something. I don't know. But it kind of looks or reminds me of that moment because Zia plays a role in that. What does she have? A syringe in her hand? And there's like some tubing. There's a DNA strand, some different things, and then like a little, table that this dino's on. So it's interesting. I like them separately, but yeah.
Within the actual set, that tubing connects onto the T-Rex. And she's like taking readings from the T-Rex, which is something that I don't believe is going to happen in Fallen Kingdom, because I think that would be so difficult to do.
Unless it's like the T-Rex asleep in the cage kind of thing, but
that's possible, but I still think it would be quite hard. But I definitely feel like they've just thrown this in to match up with Zia's character. I reckon they had like a few parts left over from the truck build and they couldn't build anything significant with it, so they just decided to throw in a computer build instead. The truck, I don't know if you've seen any of the set photos I was referencing last week, but a truck very similar to this one has been seen on set actually, with a big cage to the back of it. Which is really cool. It's really nice to actually see an authentic capture vehicle, and something which I think is quite grounded in terms of what people would create to capture dinosaurs, because the T-Rex tracker vehicle we got last time was ridiculous. It was... I don't know, did you see the T-Rex tracker that came in the 2014 line?
Yeah, I believe I did. I don't remember it off the top of my head too much, but I have seen it.
Yeah, it was insane. It was like a big cage on the back of a truck. It was removable. The truck was massive. It was incredibly inaccurate, whereas this feels like something a rescue operation looking to try and capture dinosaurs would potentially come up with. I really like it. The sides fold down to let the T-Rex break out. I think the cab of the truck looks very nice. And one nice feature that you can't see from the photo I've sent you as well is the trailer does actually have a kickstand on it, so you can remove the cab and have the trailer standing on its own with the T-Rex in it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to wonder what this piece is that the Rex is on. It almost looks like it slides out and down, maybe, to like load the Rex.
It does look a little bit like... so Lego do have pieces which have grooves in them, which are used for like garage doors and things like that, but it looks... I don't know, it looks more like just some textured backside to a piece or something like that. I'm not entirely sure.
It reminds me of, if you've ever seen like a box truck that has, it's like for loading stuff. You know, you can use the winch or, you know, whatever the thing is on the back to like load it and pick it up. So it's actually like hoists quite a bit of weight. So that's what it kind of reminds me of. Right there. So maybe that's how, because everybody's like, how do you get this T-Rex from one place to another? Well, you put it on this pallet and raise it and load it in.
Yeah, it just stands on the back. It's perfectly peaceful. It's like, you captured me, fair game, no worries.
Come on, T-Rex, come here. You can do it. Get in the truck. Get in there. There's some chicken and hot dogs in there for you. So, yeah.
That point, there is no food in this set either.
No, that's really disappointing. For a T-Rex, I mean, you gotta have a hot dog, right?
I wonder, Brad, I'm going to upset you. Maybe Baby Blue is the food in this set.
No, come on, man. That's not cool.
But yeah, I like this set, but I think it's very expensive. $70 for a truck is a lot of money.
Yeah, that is a little bit too much, man. That's a little too much. Ugh. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you want to touch on these BrickHeadz before we get to the other one that we were going to talk about?
Let's go for it. So the BrickHeadz were literally revealed last night before we started recording. And it is a 2-pack. Well, it's been photographed as a 2-pack. Whether it is coming as a 2-pack or whether they're going to be individually released, I'm not entirely sure.
Well, the box art has both of them on it, but yeah, who knows?
Yeah, it is a 2-pack. It's going to be $19.99. I've just found some information on that, and it comes with Owen and Blue. And Brad, this is actually one of the Lego items that you really like, isn't it?
I do. I like this one a lot. I didn't even know about these things until last night, so I had no idea that like BrickHeadz or whatever they are even existed. So it's kind of cool, and I'm all for these like cute items like this, like a Funko Pop style, and that's what we were talking about before, me and you, prior to recording, was that it kind of resembles that, or maybe they're trying to get in on the Funko game in a way, in their own style. So they're cute little items and about the same size as a Funko Pop, and they're cool. It looks like they're fun to build. How many pieces does this thing have? Do we know?
Let me take a look and see if it's listed on this article. How do I close the image?
I don't know if that's the amount count, but there's like a 47 and a 48 next to each of their names.
That's probably their number within the BrickHeadz.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's what it is. But I don't know. It doesn't say it on the package that I see here, I don't believe. But either way, there's not a ton of pieces, but it's cool, and they're pretty detailed too. You know, you got some teeth on the side of Blue here, and some patterning on patterning. Is that a word? On the side, a nice blue stripe, some giant eyeballs. Same thing with Owen, giant eyes. He's got a huge forehead. He's got like this what looks like a blaster, maybe a tranq gun of sorts, I guess. But and then he's got his this is the Jurassic World outfit though, or isn't it? Right?
Yeah. When
so
I definitely thought it feels more like the Jurassic World outfit.
Yeah, so he's got the vest and the blue shirt, but he has a vest and a blue shirt in Fallen Kingdom, so who knows?
Yeah, it could be either. One thing I do really like with the BrickHeadz sets is there's no stickers, so all of the designs you see on him will be printed pieces that you get as an exclusive part of the BrickHeadz line.
Yeah, that is really nice. Yeah, I'm always terrible at applying stickers. You know, they're always off-centered, and just I'm like, I got this, I got it. It's perfectly lined up, and then I press it down, and it's like, oh, what was I thinking? That was not anywhere near where it should have been. So that is nice. That's a nice touch to have that stuff. And what did this say? This is like 2 inches or like another inch or something with the base or something like that. So they're not huge. They're just nice little pieces that you can put on your desk or something like that. They're not really playable or anything, but they do look fun.
I think I was going to go back to the stickers quickly. When I was a kid, I really liked G.I. Joe. And I don't know if you remember was it Rise of Cobra that was the first newer film that came out? When that came out, I really wanted to get the Pit playset that Hasbro did, which was the base for all the G.I. Joes. But it had like 200 stickers. And I was like, I am never going to be able to do all of that. And I literally didn't buy that set just because of the stickers.
Yeah, man, I don't think I would do that either. That's way too many. 200? Or you know, even if you're being sarcastic about that amount, it's still a lot.
No, unfortunately, that was genuine. Like,
Oh,
200
no!
plus stickers, yeah.
So this is a plus to have no stickers, and they're cute little pieces.
Absolutely.
But I like this so much. I think for what you said, $19.99. Like, I think I'd definitely get this. This is awesome.
That is good to hear. We're managing to sell you on some Lego products, which is great.
Definitely. This is like a go ahead. I buy this. Like, I like the smaller items like this. If they made more, you know, if they dove into the old characters, and we gotta have a Claire. Come on, like,
Yeah,
we gotta have a Claire. And for some reason, she's always tied to like a Dilophosaurus. I feel like so. Didn't she have? Wasn't that like her pet in the movie at the very end or something like that? So we need some sort of figure for Claire in that regard. For that, I'd love to see the old characters come back. This is like one of those things, like the Funko Pops. I feel like you want to have a lot of them and have a bunch of them on your desk or wherever. So, and for $19.99, it's a good price point. And you know, I like the Star Wars ones. I don't know what they're called. They're individuals, so you can build just a single tall person. Do you know what those are called?
Construction figures.
Something like that, yeah. And those are like around the same price. I like those too, if they ever made something like that. But this reminds me of that in a way. Not really. They don't look anything alike, but the price point, it's easily manageable, you know, to pick up at any time.
Did you see the new construction Darth Maul they're doing? That looks really good.
I didn't see that, man. I'd probably have to get that one.
I will dig out a photo for you while we move on to the final set, which I'm actually going to let you introduce because you were talking about original characters, and this kind of encapsulates that quite nicely.
Yeah, man, this is you know, a set for Jurassic Park. I mean, it has the Jurassic World brand on it for some reason, but on the box at least. But the original logo is in there, or at least the Rex and the coloring. So that's nice. We have the set is particularly a strange size or shape or whatever. Yeah, but we have we have like the control room, we have like a lab area, and we have a kitchen area, all in one oddly shaped Lego set. But I do like it, but it's another one of those that I'm like, I wish it was a little bit bigger, like expanded on it a little bit, but it has so much to it, which is kind of cool.
It's a shame in some ways, because when this set was first speculated, somebody who had obviously seen it early said to people on Eurobricks, which is one of the Lego forums I'm on, they were like, oh yeah, the control room from Jurassic Park is coming. So we were all like, okay, that's really cool. There's a Jurassic Park set coming. Maybe it's like the interior to a little visitor center set. And then people were like, oh yeah, the Dilophosaur that's in the Jurassic World set, people were originally like, this is going to be in a Jurassic Park set. So we saw the Raptor that got leaked. We saw the Dilophosaur, and people were originally assuming that we were going to get one of the big direct-to-consumer sets Lego do that are like £150. You can only get them at the Lego shop, and they have like a lot of things in them. So people were thinking, oh, we're going to get like a little visitor center, we're going to get a Jurassic Park Jeep with Nedry, all of this. So there were kind of like quite a few expectations around the set. And I feel whilst this set is nice in terms of what it brings together, it definitely doesn't hold up to what I think people were hoping a Jurassic Park set was going to be.
Yeah, what is the price point on this one? Is it
it's $50.
$39.99. That's what I'm seeing. It's I don't know, man. I'm like on the fence because I don't love the design, but I like all the aspects of it. Like the control room looks really cool. Like I said, it has the Jurassic Park logo on like a whiteboard or something. It has like a map of the island. Let's see. It has Nedry's computer station. What's that?
The island map actually has the Jurassic Park logo in the bottom right of it.
I see that. Wow. Yeah, and this is Nedry's computer station, right? Because am I right? Is that Nedry saying
It's Nedry as a Lego figure saying
That is so awesome. Like I hadn't even noticed that until we just started this part. So that's really cool. Lex is at the computer station in this image here. We have Grant, holding the door closed. We have Tim. Ellie, what is Ellie's not in this picture particularly, but what is she doing?
She's running away.
Oh, she's on the cover art she's running away, but on the other one she's not even in there.
Oh wait, Hold on, let me see which one you're looking at. Oh, I only have 3.
Yeah, it's just like the white background ones.
There.
Yeah, she's not in there.
There's a few really nice references with this set. I definitely feel like it's designed as a homage, so they've crammed a lot of stuff together, and the execution perhaps isn't there because they wanted to fit so much into one set. Mm-hmm. I think, unfortunately, the fact that there is so much crammed into this set suggests to me that we're not going to see another Jurassic Park set. So I think they kind of did as much as they could with this one. But a few nice details, and I'm not sure if you picked up on all of these. You actually have the jelly that Lex eats in the kitchen on the side, which is really nice.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah, that little jello tower thing. Man, and my favorite part, the hot dog is here. It's made its return.
Where's the bun? Where is the bun?
No buns. You know, what's going on there? We have a cryo can, I believe, right? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's meant to be the Barbasol can.
It's a little different looking, but that's fine. You know, they can't get the rights to that. That's okay. We got it looks like some amber, and is that amber, or is that just supposed to be like the little tubes of the dinosaur DNA in them?
It's meant to represent all the different embryos.
Yeah, it's confusing looking to me.
There's a chocolate bar, which is kind of cool.
The what?
There's a printed chocolate bar, which I don't actually know if LEGO have done before or not.
Oh, where's that? Oh, yeah. I see that in the kitchen area. Well, that's weird. Okay, sure. But I do like that, like, the kitchen has, like, the compartment for Lex to get in to trick the raptor. The kitchen is just way too small. There's not much going on there. There's, like, a spatula, some cooking, pots and stuff like that.
I feel it suffers from trying to combine too much together. Like I was saying, it kind of detracts from what they've gone for with some of the different areas.
In this image here of all the items, it has another umbrella. What am I missing here with this umbrella? What's the deal with it? We have a ladder, which makes sense because they climbed up the ladder and into the ductwork. We have another piece of hair, I guess, for Grant.
Yeah, that's for Grant. Although, interestingly enough, they've given him a different piece of hair than he has in the Jurassic World Lego game. So in the Lego game, he uses Emmett's hair, who is the main character from the Lego movie.
Yeah.
I think that hair definitely looks a lot better on Grant than the piece that's included here. So I'm going to be ordering another one of that part to have for him. I really wish they had gone the extra mile with this set because it is the only time we're going to get Jurassic Park. And I wish that they had done the hair-hat combo piece for him, because it would have been a brand new piece that they could have then recolored and used in different lines as well.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in the movie, we don't have the hat, so it doesn't really make any sense. But to have a Grant figure with the hat is good for me. I'm okay with it. What I would have liked to have seen with this is keep the price point at $40. That's fine, but expand each individual area. Make them all $40, so you have a lab that's $40. You have like in that lab you'd have maybe the baby hatching area, a baby velociraptor, different computer screens,
Hammond.
Exactly, and then you have the control, command center with a bunch of different computers, some screens, the servers, and then a full kitchen. So you each have these for $40. You can build them together. You can have maybe the scene with the ride inside the visitor center. So you could essentially just build a big visitor center, which would be awesome. And fans would have killed for that. Like, we would have loved. We would have all spent $40 per set to combine these pieces.
Just the minifigures alone, really.
Yeah, and combine all these pieces to create our own visitor center without a roof. It'd just be like the interior of it, which would be awesome. And go from set to set, connect them all, and that just, it's just a failure on that aspect for me. I would have liked to have seen much more, but it's okay. I doubt I'm going to be picking this one up, even though, it is an original character, an original set. But yeah. I don't know. I've seen some people complain about representation of the control center, or the command center. I think it looks fine. I don't mind it. I like the red.
Yeah.
The red is very reminiscent of the room itself, so there's nothing wrong with that. If you look at the room, There's like red bars going around the top. There's red beams and stuff outside the windows. The carpets are red. So it really replicates it for me. So that looks good. The lab doesn't really replicate much of anything for me. It doesn't really look like that.
I think it looks far too big,
freezer.
and obviously the embryos are actually covered. And the thing they've got, I feel like it should have just been like the circular thing at the top further down and a little bit extended. But where obviously they wanted to show all the embryos to kind of add that, it's damaged the authenticity a little bit.
Yeah, it just doesn't really look like it to me. It just look like I said, it looks like pieces of amber, like on a pedestal. Yeah. Like it doesn't really look like little vials of dino DNA or anything. So
I will be using one of these orange pieces to replace the crystal that I have in my custom John Hammond's cane, though.
Yeah,
I think it's more closer to what that looks like.
For sure, yeah. So, I mean, it's okay. It's just a little disappointing for me, but I do like the locking mechanism on the door. That's pretty cool.
Yes, I'm glad you picked up on that, because I was about to mention that. I think it looks really good. And I think obviously we've not seen the window, so I'll be interested if the window's the right kind of shape. But I think the door looks really nicely built as well, actually. And it's quite rare that you get brick-built doors in Lego, so it looks like Lego have done a really nice job with that here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's just not my deal, probably. So I'll most likely pass, but who knows?
I have to admit, I got my hopes up for this set a lot. And whilst there's a lot of nice references in it, this is definitely a letdown for me as well, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, well...
What a nice note to end on.
I know, I was just going to say, we just really brought the house down. We were doing so good with all the talk of chicken legs and hot dogs. And
on the plus side... In this set, you do have a kitchen with all the utensils necessary to make your dinosaur omelets.
That's very true.
Put all the eggs from the other sets.
Yes, bring them over.
In the container in this set, whilst you're waiting for your omelet to cook, you can go on the computer, watch a little bit of Nedry going ha ha ha. You can maybe go get some ice cream and make it extra cold in the
You guys want a little soda or something?
Yeah. You could even drink the embryos out of the Barbasol can if you really wanted.
Yeah. Oh, nasty. But
yeah.
What a way to end it on now. We picked it up a little bit, so that's okay. But man, that was a fun look. Like a lot of stuff there. But this was really long. But it's okay.
I think to summarize, a lot of people have said that this line is worse than the Jurassic World line we got. I feel that the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom line and also the Jurassic Park set have elements which are stronger and elements which Lego could definitely learn from when it comes to Jurassic World 3.
There it is. Well, why don't we end it on that note, and why don't you let everybody know where they can find you?
Yeah, so you guys can obviously listen to my segment, The Innovation Center, here on the podcast, and you can also find me on Twitter at Tom_Jurassic.
Awesome. Well, you can find the podcast on all podcasting services, Apple Podcasts or whatever it's called nowadays, Google Play.
It's iTunes, bro.
It's not iTunes anymore. It's actually called Apple Podcasts, so it's very confusing. Yeah. I mean, I say iTunes still because everybody knows it as iTunes, but Apple Podcasts, Google Play, we do put a lot of our stuff on YouTube, so go check it out on there. And obviously head to JurassicParkPodcast.com and follow us on Twitter at Jurassic Park Pod, on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. And we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for listening. Make sure to visit JurassicParkPodcast.com to find all our past episodes, brand new news articles, information on how to contact us, and much more. It's a great source for everything related to the podcast, and of course Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. Head to JurassicParkPodcast.com and help us build a great community.
Anybody hear that?
5 minutes. Drop what you're doing and leave now.